Hi Aries, here's a general look at your solar chart for November 2012. And this November is an important gear shifting phase, but you'll probably feel a little tentative as you intuitively sense your way forwards and you gauge where your priorities lie, or some people might say which side your bread is buttered. And you may be more conscious of the material financial angle at this time, but you're likely to be more than a little aware of, your emotions at this time as well, and also maybe more sensitive to what others are thinking, feeling, what their requirements are, what their expectations are. So it could be one of the things on that list or all of the things on that list, but you tend also to separate maybe one sector of your life from another sector and keep the lid on things with certain people. It's also likely you have to tread carefully or compromise with certain people, as there may be something that you rely upon them to provide, whether you like it or not, and you in a way have to dance to their tune, or look for maybe a comfortable way to do business together. Yes, you've got this sort of feeling with it. And it can get a little bit tangled, but just try to avoid allowing a passing mood to, or worries which turn out to be unfounded, to dictate your decisions. Now there is a very important solar eclipse in this area of your solar chart on the 13th, and this may signal a renewal over the next few months, but there could be some kind of letting go or change of gear which precedes this renewal, or which accompanies it, a renewal, a restarting, a resuscitation of something, a renovation even. And this eclipse energy will go on for the next few months. But first you may have to review things. You may have to review joint interests and consider the other side's requirements or expectations. And then there's another eclipse, the lunar eclipse in Gemini on the 28th. Could have you learning something new or seeing a change in your daily routines within a community. And that's for a lot shorter time. That will be over the coming 4 weeks. Now in November your mental focus could be more upon getting out and about, toing and froing, and perhaps being in unfamiliar environment more. This is a good time to refresh your mental palette and see outside of the box, get the bigger picture, because you are plunged into scenarios that you're not used to. Which is altogether good for sharpening up your mind. And generally you could be working out, perhaps this is another way it can work. You could be working out some sort of strategy, you could be researching, you could be training, whatever it is going to help you to sort of expand your mind, expand your territory, and join up the dots. There may be more contacts from further afield for you, Aries, or exchanges with those in a specialist area. Maybe you are consulting with someone, or maybe you're coming across those who can teach you more than usual, or maybe it's someone with a different cultural background which can refresh your slant on things. So Mercury enjoys this communicative sector, and some of you could use this energy to beat the drum on something, put the word out about something. Mercury does retrograde into the previous house from the 14th onwards, meaning that you'll tend to be more introspective from the 14th, not so outgoing with learning new things, but more introspective, but perhaps plotting and planning and scheming, as I say, keeping your cards close to your chest. With certain people, but then of course always it's a good idea to let off steam, maybe, so you put your cards on the table with certain other people. That's for you to know. Now, Venus is in her favorite place until the 22nd. That means that you and someone could hit it off, or be bonding nicely together, do business together, however it is. And whatever kind of relationship it is, personal, professional, you should benefit from their presence, practical contribution, or loving attention. And from the 22nd, if you're lucky, Venus could manifest as an influence which helps you out materially in major or minor ways. So work on that one. But even if it's not like that, if it might mean that you at least there's a buffer there, and any negotiation or one-to-one type work or some sort of bartering or bargaining could go your way, and some of you could in fact decide to shift into more commitment in a material or emotional sense, depending on your natal chart and your inability to create what you want. But on another level, Venus here does mean that your deeper feelings might be touched. Things could become more intimate, or even sizzly, or perhaps just more involved in some kind of a way, and you feel as though perhaps there's more riding on how well you get on with person A, person B, and so on, or perhaps not person at all. It could be a place or anything else you care to think of. So how well you're interacting with the object there, and it's a good time for you to have a heart-to-heart talk, as I mentioned before, and that's from the 22nd onwards, so actually also from the 14th onwards too. Mercury, by the way, stops going retrograde on the 26th. So anyway, back to Venus. So it's a good time to have sort of, like a real sort of close, private, perhaps, conversation with someone, if you need to. If you don't need to, fine. It's also a good time for you to collaborate and to pool your resources in some way, because that could be beneficial to you. But when Venus passes over Saturn on the 28th of the month, you may have to be more cautious regarding money, property, or how you are relating with someone. That's 27th, 28th of the month. The big news last month was the move of Saturn from your opposite sign, Libra, into a less challenging angle of your solar chart. It was there for 2.5 years, and Saturn will stay in the new area until 2015. I spoke about that last month, and also you can read up on that if you want to know a little bit more about that on my website. Jupiter's long transit is expanding your world in the area of communications, learning new stuff, formally or informally studying things, also with anything to do with media or creative self-expression during the months to come. And also for some of you through relationships with your siblings, or what you might term your soul brothers and sisters. And also it might help you to learn how to listen better, how to pick up the vibe without actually forming an opinion in your mind and having it ready to sort of shoot out when you get a gap in the conversation. Yes, it's a very nice place for Jupiter to be in. It's in a really positive angle to your sun sign, Aries. And until the 17th, Mars, your ruling planet, will be transiting an educational house, and you will be hands-on learning through doing. So that's backing up Jupiter's position, but also a good time to reach out to new concepts, to new experiences, new ways of doing things or being, and finding out stuff you didn't have a clue about before. That's been in there since October. And some of your physical energy, in fact probably nearly all of October, some of your physical energy may be needed to push the envelope of daily life and get right outside of the routine box, as this is an area of learning through direct personal experience, very hands-on. It's right up your street, Aries. If there's nothing going on and nothing seems to be happening, well, get on the net or pick up the phone and just sign up for something, enroll in something, or get into an area where you don't normally go, or take a trip if you can. And you yourself may be seen more as actually the person who's got the knowledge to share, so the teacher, the guide, the advisor, the interpreter even. And then from the 17th onwards is a period when you may be putting physical effort into achieving certain goals and ambitions. And this is very much to do with what you've been targeting, what you've had your eye on to achieve, maybe just in the short term, or in the longer term. I mean, these may be career-orientated targets, or via points on the way to where you hope to go in the future. And overall, this transit of Mars can inspire you to improve your image or your reputation, or change the way you dress, or way others see you. And if you are decisive and energetic, Mars will help you to be successful, despite his tendency to be controversial and like a little bit of a punch-up every now and again, metaphorically speaking, I hope, or rather, not I hope, but metaphorically speaking, probably. But you may get hot under the collar with the powers that be, as you feel that they are just getting in your way because they're dragging their feet, or they're being inefficient, or maybe they're asking too much of you, whatever it is. And if you manage to keep your cool and not be too hasty with the knee-jerk reaction, you will make progress with the master plan under this transit, because it's got a lot of drive and energy and push behind it, but also with your lesser goals and ambitions too, over around about 6 weeks that Mars is going to be there. And then from the 22nd you will be in a less emotional and more outgoing mood, except of course Mercury is going to be in the area which is a little bit more introverted, but in general the vibration will be more outgoing, and you're feeling like you're ready to check out fresh possibilities and launch into new things, but you're still almost like mulling things over in the back of your mind, and keeping a bit quiet about certain things. And that's it for November. If you are not on my website already, go there and you can find out what the outer moving planets are doing. In fact, I'm putting the copy up for the whole of what I've just been saying to you as well. And if you know what your rising sign is and your moon sign, find the forecast for those, because they will help you form a picture of what's likely to be coming up in the future. And I will see you the next time.